If you're gonna
Mm.
do a film and you're just gonna leave it on the shelf and you hope that somebody looks at it one day, then it might not gain anyone's attraction. So what incentives do we have that
To do what you won't do.
exactly. Like I always say, we're only gonna give you what you're giving us in terms of like marketing and social.
Good day, Anthony Argento, filmmaker and festival director of the Greenpoint Film Festival, celebrating its 15th year this year. Anthony, how are you today?
I'm good. We're coming down to the crunch time. It's about a week away, and we're excited to have have everyone see the festival.
I am as well. So, this is going to run on July 31st. The festival dates are in the beginning of August, correct?
Correct. We'll have an open gala at the Polish consulate in
Ooh,
Manhattan, and then we'll kickstart the festival August 5th to the 9th in
okay.
Greenpoint, Brooklyn.
Okay, awesome. So Greenpoint, if people aren't familiar, is on the northern tip of Brooklyn in New York City. So this is the 15th year. You've been with the festival for 6 years. Let's start at the most important part of this. It's two-part. For an audience member, why come to the Greenpoint Film Festival? And then for a filmmaker, why have your film, your baby, screen premiere at the Greenpoint Film Festival?
Yeah, for first, you have to understand the neighborhood, and I feel like Greenpoint is the biggest hub of the film industry. Every other neighbor is a filmmaker, and it's so diverse. Every film show, every project, they do one scene, they do at least one scene here, multiple shows every year happening here from Good Wife to Blue Bloods to the old shows like Boardwalk Empire and many more. To be a part of the community is in itself is an achievement. To be involved in the festival is just an added bonus, and I'm just so honored to be a part of it. And for the audience members, the filmmakers, this year alone, we're giving close to $100,000 worth of grants and prizes to
Wow.
the filmmakers. We've tripled our submissions this year, our programs, our films, our panels. We'll have 10 panels, one's being brought to you by SAG. There's so much to talk about on why to come here. I'm just scratching the surface, just the uniqueness of our films and what we're really bringing in to the neighborhood, and the theme of our year being unbound and really giving
Mm.
focusing the filmmakers and giving them the voice that they need to achieve in this era that we're living in.
I love that, Anthony, and the thing about New York City is that there's always more people that can find out about something, more people that can go to something. I remember watching the marathon one year, and the police was blocking off some lady, and she was trying to go through, and she was like police officer was like, "Hey, lady, the marathon is going on here," and she looks at him, "What marathon?" And I'm like, "What marathon?" And it's just like you think people know whatever the big event is, and there's people who probably are filmmakers in Greenpoint who or be like, "Wait, Greenpoint has a film festival?" It's just okay.
Absolutely, honestly, like, we do hear a lot of people just not familiar, and they're just, like, a few blocks away, and yeah, I agree, like, just the marathons alone, every marathon runs right through McGuinness, right up the block from our
Yeah,
festival. But this year, so much has been happening in New York, the 250th year, the Knicks,
yeah.
the World Cup, and I can go on and on, Taylor Swift's wedding. Yeah.
Fantastic, Anthony. So, this year is the 15th year, you talked about Unbound. So, how did that end up materializing or translating to the actual films that you're screening? So, can you talk about the lineup, why this year is different than previous years?
Yeah, for one, just to talk about the theme, it's unbound. It's really giving those people the voice that's been in the industry that hasn't really been given the recognition of their works of arts, their films, their documentaries, their narratives. We really wanted to showcase that because I feel this is definitely one of the hardest years, even going through the pandemic. There's just more and more competition out there.
Yep.
Then a lot is going on this year from the strikes, finally getting back into the realm of working. It has boomed in the last few months, and if it was a few months ago, I would have told you, like, we're doomed, and I don't know where the silver lining is, but
Wow.
it has came to life recently, and I think a lot of that is just lifting up red tape, people kinda gathering together and really being a part of the film industry and understanding that making movies, you have to do it together.
Yeah. Yeah, and running a festival, and so this is your 6th year, you started during the pandemic. Running a festival is hard. I don't You don't need me to tell you this, but what have you learned over those 6 years? And has it been a gradual, just like, "Okay, I know this," has it, or just like a series of aha moments, you're like, "Oh, okay, like, maybe do it this way." What does that learning curve look like for you?
Yeah, so I have been involved in the festival for earlier on years, back
Okay.
and forth. I It was really the inspiration, Rosa Velato, who was the founder of the festival. She was the inspiration of me always wanting to be a part of a festival. She just had a direction that I wasn't too familiar with. I was more of the narrative director. I was always doing movies, and she was always doing more art form stuff, environmental, and we she just ended up having to go her own way, and I was honored the position to move the festival forward, and I took it over some during the hardest time, doing it during a pandemic and trying to figure out a way to get everyone together, but to be safe and separated. And I came up with the drive-in because we were able to be consolidated in their own cars, in their own bubbles, and everyone was safe and enjoying the artworks, and we really made it happen. And I feel like that was a revolutionary step for us. We didn't let anything stop us. The show went on, kind of
That's
thing.
awesome.
And moving forward 7 years now, we're at our 15th year, and we got such a amazing team that's really supporting us, and that's really our secret sauce. I have a very big background in international filmmaking, so that was what was a big push for us to get into the international realm and bring projects to New York, to Greenpoint, and, yeah, I think the big step forward this year was really securing, because we really focus on the filmmakers throughout the years, and securing a grant for filmmakers was such a achievement for us, and we wanna continue that going forward for the future years.
I forget who told me this, but it was somebody talking about festivals, and they were saying that a lot of times they just look for the people working the fest. It's okay, like how the festival director treats you, but look at the people working the gate, look at them, and if they look unhappy, then that's the real sign of the festival having issues. If they're happy, if they wanna be there, if they're excited about it, that's a good sign for the festival.
Absolutely, and I take that to heart because that's the first thing I look for in making a movie.
Right.
If the crew and cast are unhappy, what are we doing? Yeah.
So, Anthony, how do you think of festivals generally? So you'll talk to filmmakers and they'll make top festivals and they'll tell you, that's just the start. You got to go there and then you got to be networking, you got to be working. And it feels like that's certainly a path, but it also feels like it drains the life out of the excitement. This should be an exciting thing about possibly your world premiere of your film. You shouldn't necessarily be thinking about an escalator, constantly thinking about every single thing to an escalator. So, thinking as a filmmaker generally about festivals, how do you think filmmakers should approach Greenpoint and in general the film festival experience?
We're the easiest people to reach out to. We're very down to earth, homecoming. We always respond. That's one of my biggest things in the industry, on trying to send a pitch and saying, "Hey, can we do this? Can we do that?" And you never get an answer
Yeah,
whether you're trying to go to a cast member or to the hard topic in the room, distribution, or that's really changing our industry right now. I always tell people, reach out, try to come down, enjoy the film. What we focus on really is, again, the filmmakers. We want to give
that's
them
awesome.
the opportunity to grow. We If our model is us focusing on the filmmakers, it's just gonna come back to us 10 times fold. So we
Yeah.
really market all their films. We are basically getting these grants for them, doing these panels, all the next there's future steps that we wanna enhance for
Okay.
them to get involved with us more.
And how do you describe the film festival within the construct of both New York? Are you working with other festivals? I can think of it. There's a ton of film festivals. Is it like a camaraderie type thing? Is it competitive? And then how do you portray Greenpoint on the national level? So I feel like those are two separate areas of New York City specific and then nationally. How do you think the festival is viewed?
Definitely New York City. I feel like we are really getting buzz about the festival. The filmmakers are really enjoying us for us giving them each of their films individually times. If you check on our socials, we're posting individually for every project, and we have over 130 films. So we're really focusing on the marketing, on their attention, giving them the light, giving them the voice. That's why we're calling it Unbound. And the international world, we definitely have a lot of festivals that want to collaborate with us.
Okay.
We have collaborated with many festivals. There are in talks and works. Believe me, we wanted to do it for this year, but we've jumped such a big step, we might not have enough to jump on to next year, so we have to do it in the baby steps. But yeah, I do see us being able to showcase the festivals in other states and maybe other
Yeah.
countries in the future. Yeah.
Does and I've noticed that on the social media. Does the social media of the directors matter to you? Because I do believe at some festivals, they do look at follower counts, they look at what kind of notice that accepting this film will bring to the festival. It has to be a balance, right? You wouldn't survive if you don't have films that people will talk about, but you also just don't wanna be like, because your you have 1,000,000 Instagram followers, we're just gonna let your film in, and it's not to the quality that you want it to be. So how do you handle that balance? And do you ask anything of the filmmakers after their film is scheduled, or are you like, "Can you guys post about it?" What is the conversation regarding social media like?
Yeah, it's a great question. So for the filmmakers, there's so many variables. I tell you, everything counts. But
Yeah.
what gives me the most attention is how you treat your film. If you're gonna
Mm.
do a film and you're just gonna leave it on the shelf and you hope that somebody looks at it one day, then it might not gain anyone's attraction. So what incentives do we have that
To do what you won't do.
exactly. Like, I always say, we're only gonna give you what you're giving us in terms of, like, marketing and social, but yes, everything counts. There are obviously exceptions, Back Room and all these films that are just making blockbuster hits. But in terms of the festival, yes, quality matters, recognition matters, attention into detail and the script. Everything always starts with the script, the story,
Yeah.
right? And that's my niche, is trying to find like really true stories, inspiring stories that haven't been told. And I've produced many biopics about famous individuals that I just think that stories needed to be out there, and you have to push. And especially in this world right now, we briefly talked about, there's so much competition out there nowadays. Everyone can make a film on their phone and people are
Yeah.
doing it. There has been achievements just with the use of their phones, and I welcome that. It's not, I don't turn away just because you didn't have the money to shoot on an Alexa 35 or a red
Exactly.
camera. The future is making supposed to make us easier to achieve better quality, better stories, better production.
Love that, Anthony. So how has this running the festival changed your perspective as a filmmaker? What have you done on your own projects in the last 6 years, and how has being the director changed that? And what kind of advice would you give a director knowing what you know now about running the festival to about their film? If somebody's listening and thinking like, "Okay, what does he tell me I what how should I be thinking about taking my film to a festival?"
So, yeah, I think that there is a right festival for every film, and you definitely have to look into the research and find out what films won those awards, what are their themes, really look into what is gaining the traction on those festivals, whether it's a horror film festival or a comedy, drama, animation. There are the type of festivals that really you're gonna just get the more buzz for that. So
Yeah,
definitely look out for that and find your connect. See what who's there, the programmers, the filmmakers, see what the theme is. The theme really does matter because every film is amazing. All 600 and whatever film submissions we got this year, it, whether I like it or somebody else doesn't like it, the film's good. It's just
yeah,
every this is what makes us unique. You cannot
yeah,
like every film that comes out there. Doing your homework on the festivals really does matter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for you personally, like, how has it changed your trajectory running this? Because 'Cause you're also producing your own films now, correct?
Correct. Yeah. I as a producer, when I started out, I didn't know anything about distributions or festivals. It was something I wish I knew. And, I don't even really see classes on anything
No,
regarding festivals or distribution.
not at
The
all.
schools that I went to, they don't even know how to teach you distribution. And whatever I learned 10 years ago in terms of festivals and distribution, it's a whole new game now. It's a
Right.
totally different perspective and avenue. But yeah, no, it's learning and adapting every day. So I go to festivals regularly. The last big one, I did a movie called Featherweight about a famous boxer named Willie Pep.
Robert
Yeah,
Kolotny was our first episode, and I said I'm gonna invite him back to be our first episode every season of every the guy is brilliant. We could
brilliant,
spend time Robert.
brilliant guy, a brilliant brother.
Featherweight is fantastic too, by the way.
Yeah, and it opened up in Venice. It went around the world. I would say close to 50 festivals, and we're still struggling on distribution.
I and that's might has to be so frustrating because you have the goods. Objectively, that's a great movie. Objectively, it's fantastic in terms of acting, directing, writing. Still it's still a struggle.
Yeah, it's a film that I've seen already 3 times, and it's something that you would still keep seeing it. It's just the way Robert
I
going
know.
in like, I was on the last leg of that coming in, and I was a big piece of the puzzle, and when I read the script, it was nothing how I thought was gonna be filmed. It's I they could have told me it 100 times, and I would have still not understood how they're filming this. So brilliant. Yeah, amazing guys. Actually, James Matteo, who's the star who played Willie
Yeah.
Pep, he was our juror for this year.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
fantastic. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that really is a great story and just I think it's good. Do you feel like that running the festival keeps you current on filmmaking trends, and it's a good thing for a filmmaker to be involved in the production of a film festival?
I think it's essential. I really think that it's very important for you to be open-minded, and you mentioned competition with other festivals before. I don't see any competition between other festivals. I think there's amazing festivals out there, from Tribeca to Queens Film Festival to Woodstock. They all do something a different way, and you just have to find the right niche for what your film is playing. But I think it's very important to be involved. It's also very important to understand what is happening around your community and what people are watching, and because I feel like there's always a right time to showcase your film, and waiting a
Yeah.
year doesn't ruin your film as long as you're not. I see this a lot of people that they hold on to their film and always taking advice and always changing things up and trying to re-edit, and that's the hole that you don't want to fall into. You wanna get it out there, you wanna make sure you have the right plan and you have the right course of action,
Yeah.
but just don't always be consumed by everyone's judgment on your film, because everyone's gonna have a judgment, and
Right.
you have to just get it out there. Yeah.
Love that, Anthony. So you mentioned that there might be things upcoming in future festivals. Can you talk about what your plans are as much as you can for the next few years? And then personally, do you have any projects that you're working on that people should be able to see upcoming?
Yeah, there for the festival, we definitely want to expand. We Yeah, there are some festivals that have been in talks with us, maybe more on the international market, where we'll be able to screen films multiple times and having them screen in New York and in other festivals and doing kind of
Okay.
a joint venture where we have been in talks with doing that. We hope that can expand for next year. Us having these sponsors from Panavision giving us 60,000 and Cinelise giving us another 25,000 for these grants has
Yes.
really definitely expanded our process. But a lot of the funds and sponsorships that we're getting are a lot of are in kind. So once we find that gold sponsor that's going to be able to give us the funds within the festival and not
Okay.
but towards the filmmakers, that's where we'll be able to expand in the right direction. But yeah.
And what's the best way to track the festival? Tickets are available now. You can get them on your website, I believe, and then follow the festival on Instagram.
Yes. Yeah, everything's going through our portals on the website.
Okay.
We're on every This year we finally got onto every social media. People twisted my arm. I finally downloaded TikTok. I know it's
You gotta do it. I know,
I'm
you
out of
gotta
the
do it.
generation, but I don't know if that's what you're doing. But yeah, we're on every platform now, and we're getting the word out more and more as we can with the team that we have. Yeah.
And I love follow the Greenpoint Film Festival Instagram account and TikTok. I love how, like you said, you're highlighting every film, you're putting something special out there about each one, and that is a lot of it's a challenge for the team, I'm sure, but I think it's important and it really speaks to what you're trying to do to build that camaraderie among filmmakers. I think I saw that you're taking the filmmakers, you're giving them opportunity to go by the Kodak part in
Yeah,
New York City as well, so it sounds like you're doing special things for the filmmakers. Because I talk to filmmakers, and I think one of the things they talk about when festivals that they're disappointed is that they just show their film, that's it, and they're like, "Wait, what happened?" But it sounds like you guys are taking extra steps to make the filmmakers feel special as part of being part of Greenpoint.
absolutely. Yeah, I don't know if Rob Alice, he's another local friend of mine. He does a lot of
Okay,
writer groups. So we're gonna have
okay,
that towards the filmmakers as well. That's a new addition. And yeah, we have the people from the mayor's office that are gonna be talking about permits and like all these little
awesome.
aspects that people that are starting in the industry never hear about, and then they
Yeah.
get shut down or get the mayor's office mad at them because they didn't do it the right way, but they were never taught the right way. So those are things, and same thing with SAG, right? So many inspiring young kids trying to become SAG, and how do they do it? Where do they go?
Yeah.
So yeah, those are things that we've heard from filmmakers, and we're trying to see what more we can. And Kodak, I've had my luck of being able to do a handful of film projects, so we know them pretty well, and they honored us to do some tours. I wish I could bring them to Rochester and see what they have down there. It's amazing.
Maybe next year. Maybe next
Yeah,
year. So, Anthony, Indie Film Podcast, love supporting other people's projects. I'll put the caveat in here. We talked about Featherweight, which is a fantastic film. And of course, you can recommend the whole slate at the Greenpoint Film Festival this year. But is there a film out there or filmmaker that you wish more people knew about?
yeah. There's so many great films that are coming on this year. I didn't really mention the films. But, Mistake was one of the earlier projects that we thought was amazing film, and we were just so happy to have it. Nowhere to See Here But Watts. Watts is an amazing documentary. I have so many amazing questions for these guys, such an amazing group of newcomer filmmakers just learning on the trail of how to make their community better. It's just a bunch of community people that came together to protect the community and really amazing film. When We Were Live, that's
Ooh,
another
yeah.
I don't know if you got to anyone showed you some of the films that we have so far.
Yeah, I
The
saw the list. I haven't seen any yet, but I've saw the list, and the list is I went through some, especially the narrative features I saw were just, like you said, very international. I felt like these are it's a global festival, and you had voices from all over the world in the different documentary, narrative, shorts categories.
Yeah, 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 and it's a great balance because we have a lot of local films
Exactly.
too. Baggage Claim is another one. Young Sophie, they're coming from France. We have some projects from Iran, Korea, China, Taiwan, just really all over the place.
Well, love it. I'm looking forward to the Greenpoint Film Festival, which starts next week, next a week and a half or so, with the opening gala in Poland or in Poland at the Polish consulate, maybe next year in Poland. And then what is your opening film?
Cafe Chirel. Cafe
Yeah,
Chirel is our opening film, and that's another amazing doc film that's coming from Mexico.
yeah.
And yeah, our closer is When We Were Alive.
Just such a banger lineup. I'll link the Greenpoint Film Festival website in the show notes. Check it out. It's been such a thrill to have you here on the podcast. I think it must give a lot of filmmakers heart knowing that they have a filmmaker also in charge of the festival. I feel so many festivals, the person running it hasn't been on the other side of it. And I feel like the fact that you, Anthony, wear both hats, that you know what it's like to take a film to a festival really helps your credibility in terms of the of what you're going to provide for the filmmakers. And I'm sure everyone this year, both filmmakers and audience, will be thrilled with the Greenpoint Film Festival, and I'm excited for you for this year and for what's next, Anthony, and I'm really grateful that you came on today to talk with me for the podcast.
Yeah, man, likewise. We really appreciate your support and just getting the news out there and the attention and just doing what you do every day. Yeah.